everybody, Dirty Thursday brought to you by River City Speedway. There we go. Man, we've got a studio full today, along with guest host Stephen Lewis. We have got Dustin and Savanah Strand. Yeah, that's right. Dustin brought the boss with today. This is going to be a great time. I am so keyed up. By the way, our show brought to you today by Executive Properties. Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Aaron says Chris and his team did a spectacular job on the damage to my aunt's garage and siding. Kept us up to date on the progress, and the finished product was amazing. Thank you for your professionalism and hard work. Hey, get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273. All right, the phone's already lighting up. Vanna from Lacey. How about that? Thank you. Anyway, if you do want to call or text, have any questions, maybe you want to make a comment, 701-213-0863 is our number. Feel free to text or call 701-213-0863. Let's do it. Our daily segment called Jokes My Wife Tells Me. Jokes My Wife Tells Me. Or Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. I got the wife thing on my mind now. Jokes my neighbor tells me, which...
It isn't December yet.
Well, it's a joke about my wife. So I told my wife that a husband is like a fine wine. You know, we just get better with age. She locked me in the damn basement the next day. How about that, right? Anyway, a fine wine. Okay, let's get through with our racing schedule. Dirty Thursday track schedule, by the way, brought to you by Forks Karting Association. You can watch the karts Wednesday nights at Forks Karting Speedway at the Grand Forks Fairgrounds. If you want to find out more, go to forkskartingassociation.com. We'll go through the schedule, and then we're going to talk to Dale, the producer, here a little bit about last night's kart racing. Tonight, now, Norman County Raceway in Ada. They got the meet and greet tonight with the IMCA Sprint Cars, Stock Cars, Sport Mods, Hobby Stocks, Wissota Midwest Mods, and the Legends. Tomorrow night, River City Speedway double sprint car feature, all part of the Wayne Anderson Cup. We got the 305 Race Savers Sprints, and there's something more. What are they officially called?
Yeah, that is the Red River Sprint Series, the Superior Customs Red River Sprint Series.
Okay,
so.
Thank you. Gosh, I'm glad he's here. What else we got? Wissota A Mods, B Mods, and Street Stocks, and the late models, by the way, will be in Fargo tomorrow night. Saturday, Devil's Lake, Pure Stock, Wissota Street Stocks, the Midwest Mods, the late models, Trophy Class going to be there. And finally, Sunday, Buffalo River in Glendon, Rebel Midwest Mod Tour. IMCA Northern Sport Mods, Minn Kota Lightning Sprint, Short Trackers, IMCA Hobby Stocks, Wissota Midwest Mods, and the Wissota Street Stocks. I just talked to Dale here quickly about Forks Karting Association, which, by the way, I still have raffle tickets if anybody's looking to buy one, $10 a piece. So, Dale, racing last night at Forks Karting Association. Let's do a quick little rundown.
I'll just throw a photo of our new T-shirt on the screen while I go through the results here. But, no, yeah, awesome night at Forks Karting Speedway yesterday. 11 classes. Jackson Dobmeyer, he's on a roll. He's just he's sweeping the season so far for the Junior 1 wing karts 4 weeks in a row, and they actually had a 2-for-1 feature win tonight because he also got the win in the Junior 1, and then also I know Lily Jarvis, awesome night for her. Her birthday, she rocked it. She won for the Junior 1 Yamahas, and yeah, just a great night of racing. I know Aiden Reynolds, he was on the show with his dad a couple months back. He won too, so big shout out to him. So yeah, great night of racing. Just a few of the winners. So yeah, check it out every Wednesday night, $5, 3 hours racing. Can't go wrong. Forks Karting Speedway.
All right, thank you, Dale. And you can see on our we have an apparel store here too, online store. If you want to get the Dirty Thursday shirt, which we have right here, which I'm wearing, you can. Also, and Stephen Lewis, my co-host today, they were supposed to get back to me on this. I don't know. Do you know anything about the Julie Strong apparel store?
Yeah, Dale, do you got that? Do you got that link there?
Okay.
Trey and Josh and the guys there, I think, were the ones to come up with the idea, and all of them are on the same shirt. Those two and Cole, and then of course all the Petersons. Julie Strong apparel available online. You can find.
I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, the link looked like it came up there. You can find it at Peterson Racing on Facebook for sure. But if you're friends with Trey or Josh or any of them, I'm sure the link's been all over the place. But just follow the link. I think 6 more days on that. But yeah, so they're a little more apparel there for you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Lois Clegstead, morning. Courtney Foss, good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in already today. We talked about that. God darn it. Also, I wanted to mention last week's 200th episode of Dirty Thursday was a blast. I want to thank Scotty at the River City Speedway. Even had a bartender there for us at the Red Flag Lounge, and the 40 or 50 people that showed up was a great time. I want to also thank the Broken Drum for the Living Like Outlaws shindig with Wes Irwin that night. And I also want to say our streak continues. We talked with Gio Celsi that night, and he won the World of Outlaws show the following day.
And
so I think we're doing something right.
And if you don't win after you've been on, we'll have you on after you won.
There you go. There you
either
go.
way.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if I got through all of our business. We did. Finally get to you, man. Dustin Strand, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. What's new in your world today?
Well, just another day, I guess.
What? When I reached out to you, I said, bring a guest. And you said, I'd like to bring my lovely bride, I believe is exactly what you said. Did you have to twist any arms or beg or promise to do things like mow the lawn an extra time or something to get her to come with you or not?
No, she was pretty excited to come on, actually.
Really? Now, you, I think, have been on the show before, haven't you?
Yep.
When we did the Racer Wives episode, I believe. And really, after that, you still wanted to come back.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, good. And thank you, by the way, for bringing her, and thank you for coming. I kind of was joking around and said Dustin Strand's going to bring his wife or the boss with. Are you like the boss of the race team?
Nah. I'd say Nate is the boss. But
Oh, okay.
I give my 2 cents.
Okay.
I just keep them in line, I guess. So I don't know.
All right. What about when you leave the race shop and you go to your house? Who's the boss?
That'd be Tate.
Oh. Wow, nailed it. Now, Tate is the youngest.
Yeah.
And how old is he now?
2.5, just over 2.5. He'll be 3 in October.
Okay, so you have 2 girls and a boy.
Yep.
Okay, and more Strands on the way?
No.
That's it.
Absolutely it.
Absolutely it. Okay, we heard it here first, right? All right. Talk about your kids a little bit. They're getting to be, how old are they now, the girls?
9, 6. Yeah, Paisley and Kate are 9 and 6. Yeah, Tate's 2.5. Actually, Brina Sang is our nanny again this summer.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be running around here after a while.
Okay.
Nobody's sleeping in our house, so
Yeah.
I think we'd be past that point, and we're not, so we're a little tired, but
Girls getting to the age now where they're getting involved with activities and stuff?
yes, Paisley's huge into basketball.
Oh.
Now she's kind of dabbling in volleyball a little bit.
Sure.
They got a couple snowmobile races in this past
Oh, that's
summer.
right. Yeah, it was a tough year for snowmobile racing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Were
it's
you
getting busy.
athletic growing up?
Yeah. Volleyball, basketball were
Sure.
my 2 main sports.
Sure, and you're northern Minnesota, right?
Yep, Carlstead.
Carlston, I was going to say Greenbush. I bet that would have been a swear word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Daryl Oakley, the Canadian, sitting in the passport office right now trying to get my renewed passport for the late models. He found out last week as they were coming across the border that his passport had expired. They let him across. Wasn't sure if they were going to let him back, but he apparently made it. Nick Curtis, great racing between both classes that night. Rocky Point, bed and breakfast. Good morning. Excited to see my favorite racing couple keeping it classy. I don't know if I've heard that with you before in the same sentence. Classy?
Oh, yeah, I'm classy.
With the 3 kids, you know, when this whole thing, when you guys got together and I'm sure you started talking about family and everything, you got 3, I mean, your kids are like the most photogenic. I mean, all of you guys, your pictures are like, how come my damn family pictures couldn't look that good when I, you know, but did you ever envision this? It's like you guys got like the perfect fam going on there.
Yeah, no, it is really great. We've been pretty fortunate. All the kids are awesome. Like you said, with the exception of none of them know how to sleep at night.
Yeah, what's the
I kinda
deal
think
there?
That's maybe the easiest thing we do every day, but hopefully we'll get that figured out.
Yeah. Now, and it's got to be a help too. I mean, I know you got the nanny, but for you, both of you to have your own business in the same building, I mean, if you absolutely have to, you can drag the kids along with you if you need to.
Right. No, that works out good, especially with with daycare, here and there, and if we need to bring the kids to work with us, we can. It's not an issue. We just turn them loose, and they're pretty good.
Everybody knows a lot about him. He's been on the show so many times now, but maybe a lot of people don't know about you, Savanah. Tell us what you do. It's a good chance for you to plug your shop.
Yeah. I have a hair salon actually in Dustin's shop. We took the office space and converted it into a salon. So I'm over there, he's over there, so you can, a lot of guys just will be getting their race car done and pop in and be like, hey, can I get a haircut? And if I'm processing a color, I'm like, oh, yeah, have a seat,
sure.
sit down. Well,
What's the name of your company? Or
Generations.
Generations. Remember that. You can find you on Facebook and all that kind of fun stuff?
Yep, Facebook.
And it's really easy to find, folks. Just right over to be to the west of the Civic Center?
Yep.
Yeah, right to the west of the Civic Center. In fact, it's like that alley. There's a field and then the Civic Center.
Yep.
So it's very, very, very easy to find.
It's actually a road, but it's the only road in East Grand Forks that's not paved. So hopefully one day we'll get that.
That's considered a street, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, who owns that empty lot then across from there? Does that belong to?
That's the Civic Center lot, the paved lot.
Oh, sure. We can bring him in if you want to talk to him for a minute.
They turned away.
They're going the opposite direction. Brina's a great girl.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And I don't know if she'll be back here next summer. I know she's going to Concordia to continue with her education at Concordia College in Moorhead, Fargo. And she's going to be playing hockey there. So I think that is a great deal for her. Reed Voss taking after her mom. You were all conference in volleyball, huh?
Volleyball, basketball, yeah.
No, I did not know that. Did you ever think about playing sports in college, or you were done?
Actually did play volleyball for a little bit.
Okay.
And then going to school for hair, it's based on hours, so
Sure.
the two are just not going well together.
Yep.
So I put that aside. And,
Okay. Where'd you go to school for hair?
at Northland, which they don't have that
Right.
program anymore, which is a total bummer.
In Thief?
Yep.
Yeah, because I went to school for radio and television, and they don't have that anymore either. Because I know I wanted to play hockey and football, and it just didn't work out because basically you almost punch in. I mean, our class we started at 7:30 every freaking morning.
Yep.
The hell goes to college at 7:30 in the morning? Jeff Cornell's Chewy, what's up, man? Brina should come to Devil's Lake and be a Royal. I knew that was going to be from Heather. Heather McDonald, thank you for watching and all of that stuff. I was talking earlier, looking for stats for you last year in the AMOD. You did really well in the AMOD. Let's talk a little bit about that before we do the late model thing. I couldn't find anything for this year, and he's like, well, duh, we haven't raced yet this year. You got, I think, more seat time in the AMOD last year than you probably have in a while. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how many nights we raced last year. I would say only probably around 10 nights with the AMOD, 8 or 10 nights. But
Well, when you throw in how many nights with the late model, that's still a lot of racing. But you really like getting in that AMOD, because I know I absolutely love the AMODs, or the Wissota modifieds, if we're going to do this the right way. But is there a big difference? And what is it with these AMODs that keeps bringing you back?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I enjoy racing both cars, to tell you the truth. But the modified, you're really racing similar horsepower to what we have in the late model, down a little bit. But so similar that way, with the exception of we're a little more limited on the front suspension, and we're on half the tire.
Right.
So I think there's a little more driver input in the modified versus the late model.
Okay.
Although there is an exception, like the track we had last Friday at Grand Forks. You got to be hanging on to the steering wheel there when it gets bumpy like that in the late model. But I don't know. Like I say, I like racing both. I think if I didn't live where I do, I'd probably race the AMOD more. But it just makes sense to be able to go across the river to race for decent money every night with the late model.
Right. Steve, I want you to take over for just a second.
Okay. I had to look it up. So you raced the late model 35 times as opposed to 22 in the modified. I knew I had it laying around there somewhere. So, but like we said, as far as this year's go, keep running in the rainouts as far as the modified is concerned. And but do you see yourself getting a few more mod shows in here, later on in the summer?
Yeah, I hope so. I guess that was ultimately the plan, to race, a little more mod stuff this year, but it just hasn't worked out. Like you say, we've had a lot of the shows have rained out that are close by, or they overlap with our late model shows. And but yeah, no, we're gonna try to hit as many as we can anyway. Hopefully some end of the year specials for sure.
You know, a lot of the tracks picked up extra classes this year, including River City Speedway when Greenbush closed the doors, but now they are back. And what'd you think when you heard that news?
Yeah, that was really too bad. I mean, really, you know, it's too bad when a nice track is going to sit idle, because it seems like if that happens for too long, then all the local guys maybe sell their cars, or all of a sudden they buy campers or whatever, and then 2 years down the road, there's no racers left locally. You know?
Right,
so
right.
It's great to see that back up and running, and hopefully it goes good for them.
Right.
To spin off that quick, what do you think about that? Because you're kind of from the area, and now you guys have 2 new sponsors from Carlstead, so that must be pretty exciting to have Greenbush back.
Oh, for sure, and I think they're planning on having late models there for the Labor Day weekend deal, so we'll try to support that if we can.
Yeah. Is that going to be more than a one-day show?
Yeah, it'll be a 2-day show.
Okay. And then do you just stay up there, or do you drive back, or do you camp, or stay with the fam? How does that work?
I don't know. We usually just fly by the seat of our pants.
Sure.
We used to have our camper up at Florian, which was right near that area, but we gave that spot up, so we don't anymore. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just, like I say, I don't plan too far ahead.
Right.
Anytime we try to plan ahead,
Right.
Something changes anyway. So
Yeah, and we know from a previous show how much Dustin loves camping.
Yeah.
Dale, can we pop that picture up quick for a second here?
Not that one. I think it's
is
a
it
different
the one
No,
in
I think
my underwear in the rainstorm?
Yeah.
I think it's a different one.
Wait, whoops, sorry, I don't have that one up.
There they go. That picture's obviously a little old now because your youngest is, 2.5? But we got a couple of, thank you. We got a couple of your family members here. Do you think they're brave enough to come up and say hi? You guys want to come and say hi? Yeah, or you can go over there. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we'll talk to you first. All right, what is your name?
Paisley.
Paisley, and you're the oldest, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
9.
Already 9. Man, I remember when you guys were just little. You're playing basketball?
Yeah.
Are you playing volleyball too? Yeah. Does your mom teach you a lot about that stuff? Because she was pretty good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Are you any good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you? What's your favorite part about playing basketball?
I don't know. I like to play games.
Okay. Do you have a favorite basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. What do you think about going to the racetrack with your mom and dad?
I like watching my dad race, and yeah.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not bad. All right, let's talk to you now, young lady. What's your name?
Kaden.
How old are you?
6.
Wow, you're a little cutie too, aren't you? Yeah. Do you have any favorite sports? Yeah? What's your favorite?
Basketball.
Basketball. Who's on your shirt? That shirt is so cool. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. I just saw the headphones and I thought that looked pretty neat. What do you think of Brina over there? She's a pretty good girl, isn't she? Yeah? Yeah. Do you like hanging around with her? Yeah. Do you like going to the racetrack? What's your favorite part, watching your dad in Victory Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot, doesn't it? And then you guys get to go down and take pictures with them. Oh, for fun. Well, I saw these guys walking around out here, so I thought I'd just get up and leave and see if we can get them to come in. What number does Paisley use for basketball?
Number
44.
44. How'd you get that number?
Well, I wanted to be in the 30s, but all my teammates stole the 30s, so I had to be 44.
Oh, those thieves. Paisley, you're doing such a good job. Hi, Cade. So darn neat. Cade, you're supposed to say, yeah, I know I'm cute. Cade, you know you're cute, don't you? All right. Thank you, girls, for coming in. We saw you guys walking around. And feel free to hang out in here. You guys can stick around if you would really like to. Rocky Point Bed and Breakfast. Love those cute faces. Well, I guess not. I saw you were at a WNBA game.
Yes.
How was that?
The Mercury Lynx game. It was so awesome. Mercury ended up winning by 1 point.
Oh, boy.
At the very end, and Paisley's like, I don't know who to cheer for. So I had a Lynx shirt on. She had a Mercury shirt on. But yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah. Was this a plan, or were you just down there and happened to say, hey, there's a game. Should we go check it out, or something you had planned?
My mom lives down there, so
Okay.
the girls were down there for a week. And then we've been wanting to get to a game for a while. So then my mom had been looking, and she said, well, what do you think Paisley would think about this? I'm like, oh, man, she would love it.
Mm-hmm. So
the three of us went, and, yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's good times when you go down there. Do you think we should talk about racing again or not? I'm looking at stats so far this year. 13 features. This is in the late model. 3 wins, 9 top 5s, 10 top 10s. You were River City Speedway track champion. You're second at River City Speedways in the A mod last year. Third in the NLRA points now. You've had a pretty dang good successful career. 106
in town here, yep. And 50th late model win on Friday night.
Wow, it's worth all of that. Okay, I want the night of the double feature. I think you said you put a rod through the block or something. And I saw you leave. I saw you guys leaving from up at the booth. It's like, that sucks. I wanted to see him back. And lo and behold, not that much later, you popped your head into the booth.
Yeah.
And said, does he have, what did you ask again?
Well, he's like, you need to find out if I have a provisional.
Provisional.
And I'm like, where do I go? So you're the first person that popped in my head. I'm like, I got to get up to the booth. So I'm like running, which by the way, I'm so out of shape. I think I went up and down like 3 times. And the last time I'm like huffing and puffing, like, give me 1 minute. And I'm like, does he have a provisional? Because he was leading NLRA points. And usually that person does.
And of course, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I never knew.
Yeah.
So, but thank goodness Jeremy was there.
Someone, yeah.
Yeah, so I looked over at Jeremy, and he goes, no. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Would they go switch cars? They go do whatever? But you went back to the shop. You're going to tell me who was there with you, whatever. But you went and swapped a motor, came back, got in that other feature, and won it. I mean, that was a hell of a night, man.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. We actually made it back in time for the makeup feature. And like I say, I just thought we had a provisional because they go off of point standings.
Okay.
And 2 officials told me I did have a provisionals, and 2 told me I didn't. And so we were going to throw in the towel, and Zach said, well, just go out there and make them figure it out. So I went out and lined up anyway.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that they have a provision that you have to run a B main to get the provisional, which maybe that is something that needs to be looked at if a guy is wrecked, or, I could see if the guy qualifies good and just decides, well, I'm already in, I'm not going to race the B, but that was a little different situation. But
so when you found that out and you knew you just went through all that thrashing and work and running and driving, and did it piss you off a little bit, or you just start to focus on the next race then that's coming up?
No, I think I was already, we were so adrenaline going so hard from getting that switch. I knew we had that makeup feature, so I don't think we just moved on. But when we left the track, it was me and Nate and Matt, and then Jim Hunter, Austin's dad. He said, you want me to come with you? And I said, well, you got to keep Austin going. No, Galen can help him if you want me to come. So he jumped in, and we got out of the pits, and I looked in the back seat, and I seen he was dang near touching the ceiling. Well, here he was in Tate's car seat. That was the only seat left in the back seat. Oh, and then Zach Nostad showed up at the shop to help us.
And he's like 9 feet tall.
Yeah. So we busted butt, and it actually went pretty good. From the time we got the car to the trailer after the heat, when they pushed me in, to the time we got back to the track, it was like an hour and 16 minutes or something.
That is crazy. I mean, you hear about these fast motor swaps, but it's usually with a sprint car. And, a lot of them could do it right at their hauler. But that
was my first thought about the whole thing, too. And then to spin off of that, I had to ask you, because I was like, that's at least twice that you've tried it and it hasn't quite worked out. And then you were like, no, that's 3 times we've done that. And it's like, so...
Now, who all helped you then? Just the guys you just named, right?
Yeah, it was Matt Lunsky, Nate Davis, Jim Hunter, and Zach Nostad were all helping me there.
So is it like, I the one thing I like about like NHRA drag racing, they come in under their tent. Everybody has a job. They completely tear apart that motor, do their thing, put it all back together. Is it like that, or is it kind of more of a controlled mayhem, or how do you? I mean, even when you've got that many guys, how do you stay out of each other's way And is that an issue, or everybody you just say, okay, you do this, and let's go?
Yeah,
or how does that work?
Honestly, I don't know for sure. We
Yeah?
were just going. But
It worked.
If somebody was in the way, they knew they were, so they moved out and let them finish and do the next project.
Wow. Anyway, you won. And then now, last week, Devil's Lake, you just about did, from what I heard, according to Dale. You had a great race going there, too.
Yeah, actually went really good. We started 9th and got up to Brody, and he was doing an awesome job too. We ended up 2nd there, but no, we've been having an awesome year.
Wow. Dustin Strand is here along with his wife, Savanah, and of course, Stephen Lewis is our guest host today. Chad got stuck at work again. Let's see. Great job done. Eric Larson. Hi, Savanah, from Jennifer Dahl. Nolan said Brian changed the motor in what he swears was 20 minutes across the road in Greenbush when he ran Greenbush. Said it was insane fast. Margot Beth, you're lovely, Vanna. Vanna, do you go by Vanna a lot?
I always know if people back home are talking to me because they say Vanna, or if someone like that I just met says Vanna, I kind of look at them like,
yeah.
Who do you know that I know?
They still call me Robbie back home.
Yeah.
That's a long story. Anyway, you know who's here. We're going to take a quick little break, but we've got a lot more to go here on a Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids, check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. You know, they can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. For a complete oil change and more, they're at 3325 South 38th Street, or call them 701-780-8462. And make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. All right, everybody, welcome back to Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. Let's turn that down. By the way, I was just informed by the ladies here that the girls are going to have a lemonade stand today, and I think it's going to start at about 1 o'clock. 3465 Ivy Drive. That's like right by Sertoma Park, kind of on the corner there, but watch for the lemonade stand. Go help these girls raise a little bit of money, all right? Lemonade stand, check that out. We're looking at Dustin Strand's numbers here and stats, and you know, with numbers like this, you'd think the guy would be about 70 years old. You think he'd be doing this for a lot longer than you have been, but and you will know if I'm wrong or not because you're the walking racing encyclopedia here. 28 NLRA wins, is that correct?
31.
Okay, these are last year's then. Oh yeah, the three. Okay, 31. 14-time track champion at 5 different tracks.
Sounds about right.
4-time NLRA champion. Multiple North Dakota state titles. 2016 National Wissota Late Model Champion. 2009 National Midwest Mod Champ. What's left? Indy 500, Daytona. What? I mean, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I think I started when I was 19 years old in, what the heck was it, 2002, I think is when I started.
Yeah, and how old are you now?
Like 23.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's
40.
And you know, okay, it's funny because we were doing the Buffalo Wild Wings thing last week with Dobmeyer's team, and somebody came up to me. They'd never met Dobmeyer and thought, oh, he's just a kid. And it's like, well, he's been doing this forever. You know, I didn't think, I figured he'd be way older than that, but does it seem that way to you too? Because you have been doing this for so long, and then if somebody doesn't know you, because a lot of people just know the car, they know what your race suit, the helmet. You take all that off, and all of a sudden there's Dustin Strand. Do people ever look at you like, because I used to get that look in radio all the time. Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
You know? But do they get that from you? Because, you know, a lot of people, if you were to listen to all those stats we just threw out there, you would think you're a lot older because you don't just go win 106 times like that. It's not that easy. But do you get that a lot?
Yeah, I think sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Does she keep you looking younger?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
How long you think you're going to keep doing this?
I don't know for sure. I guess hopefully I still got some years left in me, but I don't know how long we'll go as hard as we are right now.
Sure.
I don't know. Kind of over the, being stuck racing for points steady and whatever. And but we'll see. Kids are getting older and getting into more activities.
Sure. And it's funny because there's a lot of people when they get out of racing, and I hear it all the time. I'd like to see what it's like to go to the lake on the weekends. I'd like to spend time with my kids on the weekends, not stuck at the racetrack. Lacey Williams says you don't look a day over 30. There you go. I still can't get Savanah out. Sounds so weird to me. Oh, Savanah out. Lacey calls you Vanna. Okay, there's one of them. Let's talk about your dad a little bit. When he got out, he could have kept on. Absolutely could have kept on for a long time. Did he just kind of think like you are now and start thinking, hey, you know what? It's just not the same anymore, and I want to do other things? Or was there a reason he quit?
Well, me, because
you were getting into it.
Yeah, I mean, we both raced for 3, 4, 5 years together, and then it just got to a point where the time and financially we couldn't both do it, so he just decided to turn the steering wheel over to me, I guess.
Sure. Now, I know you guys work together, in the same building anyway. But I know we had talked before, and you'll go home and eat or do whatever at the end of the day, but then you go back and then you rap and you do things like that. We're not talking music either.
I do rap sometimes. Depends on how many drinks I had that night. Yeah.
Boy, I'd love to get that on tape. That we could put that on with the underwear picture.
There is some nights when I go back to the shop if I need to get my own stuff done or whatever, but I have all my lettering equipment in the basement of my house.
Oh, sure,
so
okay.
That works out better too. At least I can be there in the evening working on that rather than being stuck at the shop all the time.
So you're not like a race widow or a work widow. He's not gone all the time. He tries to get what he can do done at home, right?
Yeah, he's pretty good about balancing everything. And when he's downstairs doing vinyl, usually April, May, he's down there. It's every night. I think a few weeks ago, I'm like, when are you going to be done down there?
Yeah.
But at least I can say, oh, Tate, Dad's looking for you. Go downstairs.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, blame it on the kids.
But yeah.
That's.
And then it's like a hurricane comes through when he gets there.
Well, you were saying if everybody could just sleep. Do you get sleep the way it sounds, both of you?
Sometimes, we get a solid 15 minutes.
Yeah, a nice little nap. And you don't get to sleep much either. No? Oh, man. The kids get busy, and then they start driving themselves and leave you in the dust. Then you have nothing to do. Might as well go racing. And again, I'll repeat this. I've said it a ton of times. Enjoy them while you can, because before you know it, they'll be sick of you.
Yeah.
That's the way it took me a long time to figure that out, is before you know it, they're going to be gone. But they go through that phase first where they don't want nothing to do with mom or dad. You guys usually make an annual trip out west. In the winter. Is that something you're going to keep doing?
I don't know for sure. So we always used to race that Wild West Shootout race, and that moved to a different location. It was always a lot more fun when it was in Arizona.
Sure.
It was right by the Mesa area, and her mom lived there or lives there, and it's just kind of there's always something to do there. It's a nice area.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. You go to the track and half the plates are North Dakota and Minnesota.
Yeah, isn't that something?
People down there.
Yeah.
But now they moved that to New Mexico, which it went to a really nice facility, but it's just not the same. I mean, it's not you don't get the summer weather like last year.
Sure.
We didn't go to that race last year. We went to a different one, but it snowed one of the nights in New Mexico.
Man.
That's too far to drive to get snowed on.
Mm-hmm. Do you, is that, I think you've considered the biggest win of your career? Was that?
Yeah, I think so. When we've actually won a few of those races down there, but the caliber of drivers they get, nobody else is racing in the country, so kind of a lot of the best guys go down and race that deal. And we've been fortunate to win a few of them. We won the point deal one year down there, and it was pretty cool.
Austin Hunter says race the Dome this year. What's he talking about?
Well, they have a race in St. Louis inside the Dome in December.
Late model or mods?
Well, they race late models and mods. So I told him we'll go, but I'm taking his car.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? And where is that? Missouri?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
We actually went and watched this year. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet. Now, does a place that big? Because that's pretty big. Not like where they run like the Chili Bowl and stuff. Does it get smoky? Do your eyes burn? And how loud is it?
It's pretty loud in there, but it's pretty cool. I mean, they do a pretty good job of keeping it cleaned out too. I think it was warm enough this winter that they were able to keep all the doors open to keep it cleaned out. I've never been there in years past. I've heard it gets gassy. The first day I was there, I noticed that I was almost getting lightheaded at one point. But they were doing a good job keeping it.
And how big is that track, or how small is that track?
It's little. I don't know what they even consider it, but it would it would dang near fit inside of River City's.
Really?
I think they call it a 5th mile.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's pretty small.
Wow, 5th mile. Wish we could have went to Wisconsin. Reed Foss. Are there races you really were just geared up and had your heart on going to? And we know how it is around here, Mother Nature, and all of a sudden, nope, not going. Do you get disappointed? Do you get bummed out, or do you go, you know what, that's all right.
Yeah.
I can stay home. I'm not going to lose many money. You know, I might not win any, but I'm not going to lose any. What are your thoughts now? Because when we're all young and full of piss and vinegar, it's a whole different deal. But now that you've been doing it for a while, do the rainouts and stuff really bother you?
Yeah, not really. I mean, it depends on if they stack up. I mean, if it's week after week after week, then it's kind of
then you got to start thinking about sponsors and things like that too.
Right.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's I don't know. These big races that are 2-3 days long don't really excite me all that much because it's just too long sitting in one place. And then seems like you just waste 2 days. You know,
right.
whatever.
And compare that to like the sites where we're home.
Yeah,
I mean, it might be a little better because you can leave everything at the track if you want to, and still it's nice to sleep in your own bed, and we all know that. Kaylee Elizabeth missed most of this, but of course had to jump on and put my 2 cents in. Dustin has been a really awesome support in getting us going this year. Always has been quick to get our lengthy last-minute requests done and gets our parts in pretty quick. Thanks, Dustin. Not the first person I've ever heard talk about the help that you have given racers, race teams, cars. A lot of people have, thanked you for this stuff, but that's just kind of in your DNA. Is that the way you're wired? I mean, because I know you're busy, and these people will say, well, no, he'll just help me out and then go back to his own stuff. But have you always been that way? Was there something that happened that made you that way, or it's just the way Dustin Strand works?
No, I don't know. I think that's just kind of how I was brought up. Dad did that, the race shop deal for a lot of years, and that's just how he handled things. Got everybody done. Don't think anybody ever missed a race for something that we did or didn't do or whatever. So.
Yep. Well, I'm going to put it to you this way. In all the Victory Lane interviews I have heard in my career, I've never heard one race car driver thank another race car driver as many times as I have heard your name. And I would imagine that's got a little something to do with it, too. I mean, it might not be my car at Victory Lane, but listen to this guy. He's going to tell me where that car came from, and he's going to let everybody know who helped him with that car. But that's got to be pretty cool, too.
Oh, yeah, it is. I mean, and all the cars that I work on or we work on, I mean, I want everybody to do good. It's not like I'm just trying to get it out the door and whatever. I mean,
your name's on it.
I prepare that how I would want to take it to the track.
Do you have any idea how many people are racing your cars right now?
No, I should have took a better tally on that, but there's quite a few guys.
I mean, it's most of them. I was just thinking about trying to craft a question off of that because, we've seen it for... Man, it's got to be going on 15, maybe even 20 years now. Every one of the best cars, it's a millennium,
Yeah,
so.
Always with the B mods, especially, man. Those, I mean, you go to Devil's Lake, especially there too. But
all of our cars out there, like except for maybe 1 or 2 of them, they're all millenniums.
Wow,
so, always have been.
Are you busy in the shop right now?
Yeah,
I mean, I know you're always busy, but
new car going together right now, and I was actually planning on kind of getting that going here the last couple of weeks, but then every time I get started on that, then 3 or 4 wrecked cars come in.
Oh,
it's tough
sure.
when you get into full-blown race season, you don't know what's going to show up on Monday morning.
Right,
so.
and it's kind of the same way here with Dirty Thursday. I try to play off of the season, but sometimes that can bite you in the butt because all of a sudden it's like, well, no, I wrecked my car. I got to rebuild my car. And it's like, okay, boy, it's Tuesday and I don't have anybody yet for Thursday. Okay, so I was going to ask you that. You got your late model for sale. And you're building a new late model. Is that what you're working on now?
Well, no, we put a new car together at the end of last year.
Okay,
so we do have another late model that we had been racing up till this point for sale.
Okay, and what are you building now?
New modified for Preston Carr.
Oh, okay.
And we have another modified going on the Jig right now.
Okay. I thought you were building for yourself again.
The one on the Jig is my own car.
Okay, that's going to be an A-mod?
Yep.
Okay, wow. How do you keep track?
I don't.
You don't
Sometimes I pop in there. I'm like, well, whose is this? And whose is this? And whose is this? But yeah.
Does he ever say, oh, it's whoever's, and it's maybe not, and it's maybe his, and he doesn't want you to know, or it doesn't work that way?
Oh no, he'll tell me. I'll find out anyway.
Yeah. Isn't that funny how they got that sense? They just have that sense. They can find out all of that kind of stuff. Your dad's still making the trip down quite a bit to help you?
Yeah, he comes when he can. Of course, he's busy farming right now, and I was over there a couple days this week trying to help him get everything in and whatever. I think he's pretty close. Hopefully finish up today.
Suppose they're dealing with rain too.
Yeah, every time they get going, then it rains and screws them up for a day or two. And
yeah, and then when we do get sun, we get 80-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, was it last week or the week before when we had all that water? We had all that rain. There's water sitting everywhere, but right next to it, it was blowing so hard you couldn't see. It looked like a fire going, and it was just right next to each other. So freaking weird. We were talking about the camper. You don't have the camper anymore?
We do have the camper. Yeah, we actually have it out at the racetrack there, so they have a place to be before the races and during.
Okay, now that's what this question was gearing towards, because when you used to have the camper out there, every time I drive by, you guys would yell at me wondering if I was hungry or anything. So maybe I'll get to look for that again this year.
Yeah.
It used to be people would stop me to see if I wanted a beer. Now they stop me to see if I'm hungry. I mean, I know I don't look like I'm starving to death. I'm like, God, look at me. Schedule for this year. Do you at the beginning of the year, do you write out a schedule? I know you said you kind of like to fly by the seat of your pants or play it by ear. Do you try to map out a schedule and say, this is what we've got? You have a calendar, or again, just kind of play it by ear?
No, Savannah's better at that. Like, I usually don't make a schedule, but she'll be have the calendar out. What's going on this weekend? What's going on this weekend? So she kind of pencils in. I mean, as far as we're going to try to hit all the NLRA events if we can.
Yep.
And then we'll plan to race here every Friday.
Sure.
And then I guess the other races in between are just probably fly by the seat of our pants.
Yep.
Something rains out or something comes up, we'll go do this. Or
it's funny because my wife tries to figure out things in the summer, and I say, I don't know. I have to go back to work. My whole life is right here, folks, right on this calendar. So what I did yesterday, I took pictures of June, July, and August, and I texted them to my wife and said, here's my schedule. Now you can figure it out and go from there. Fargo, tomorrow night. Your thoughts on that track?
You know, we haven't really raced there a ton. I mean, it's kind of maybe once a summer we get to go there or whatever, and definitely a little different track than what we normally race on. I wouldn't say that I'm normally real stellar there, but we'll see how it plays out.
You know, when you talk about not being stellar, are there certain tracks that you're just snake bit? I mean, it's just like, I don't even know why I'm going down there because I always suck. Are there tracks like that for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'd say probably Fergus Falls is the biggest one. I don't. I mean, we usually run okay there, but I don't really. I don't know if that's part of it. If I have high expectations, I don't know. It's just different than we normally race on. I think the guys that race there more often are a little better.
And we get some pretty big names that show up at Fergus too, because of logistically where they're at, and I'm sure you'd want to run up to the top with them, because these guys, a few times they make it up to River Cities, they're looking at guys like you, going, "We got to beat this guy." I'm glad he's here because he's not any good here. But how many times are you going to be there this year?
In Fergus, you mean?
Yeah.
We were there a couple weeks ago, and then I think we go back next Friday, and then I don't know if there's another show there or not, to tell you the truth, on our NLRA schedule, but...
Okay. Heather, why don't you just share a Google Calendar, John? That's what Nolan and I do. I don't even know what the hell that means. I'm so computer illiterate. Anyway. All right, sponsors, let's start kicking them out there.
Yeah, I got to thank Daryl and Missy of Walhalla Building Center, the Hunters at Key Weight and Truck Service, Q&Z Plumbing and Heating, Kicking Up Country Music Festival, which is going on right now. If anybody's looking for something to do this weekend, they got her rocking down there. Matt Tracks, Friggy Farms, Bemidji Welders Supply, the Bun Lounge, Shocker Hitch, Shocks by Hammer. He does all my Shocks and all the customer shocks does a good job. Sturdy Race Engines, Nostad Acres, Highside Truck Accessories, Weir's Machine and Racing Products, Generation Salon, Flagstaff Nissan Subaru, Cars Grain Service, Double Deuce Bar and Grill, Performance Bodies, Jason Strand Farms, the Rocky Point Bed and Breakfast. And I got to give a special thanks to Nate Davis and Matt Lunsky. They bust their tails every week that they could be out doing other things, but they choose to come help me and help us succeed. So it's
I
awesome.
mean, look at last week. Just think if you didn't have guys like that around.
Right.
How do you even have room on your car for all of those sponsors? And how important are they? Because I'm guessing you don't have to go pound on doors every year. I'm guessing most of these people have been with you for a long time. And is that hard for you to ask people for help and money at the beginning of a season?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I say, I've been pretty fortunate that the group of people we have, everybody helps out in a little different way, whether it's parts here and there or some money help or fuel or whatever. But everybody, we couldn't really do it without everybody's help. And it's awesome.
Now, I wanted to ask Savanah this because we had talked about, what you do and how women are not just anybody can do my hair. At least it seems that way a lot more than for us. But then again, I go to a guy that doesn't even use the scissors. It's just clippers for me. But how hard is it to get in with you? Because I know you took my wife in one time it was an emergency kind of deal. And it was amazing that you got her in there. And but are you really booked up? And if somebody wants to go to you, how often or how early would they have to probably make an appointment?
Right now it's been crazy. My clients are awesome. A lot of them I've had for so long. Like today, I moved a couple people around and they were okay with that. So if there is like emergencies, sometimes I can, ask someone like, can you come in maybe tomorrow and open something up, or while someone's processing. I'm still looking. Brina's gonna get a highlight, but I'm still working on her. So right now I don't know, a few weeks out.
Okay.
Guys are always, easier to get in. Don't take as long, but
sure. Well, it's because they're guys.
yeah, but people are always having to reschedule.
As long with anything.
Yeah, people are always having to reschedule or stuff. So I always tell people like, try your luck, and I'll do the best I can.
When I pop into the shop once in a while, I'm fortunate enough. You guys usually invite my wife and I to your little pre-race deal at the beginning of the year, but you walk into your shop and again, it's like we've been talking about throughout the show. You'll just drop everything and sit and BS with me for a while. But does that happen often where somebody just goes, I heard Dustin Strand shop's back here. Let's go check it out. Do people do that? Because I'm one of those guys. I'll just walk into a race shop. I'll ask people, where's your race shop? Where are you? Because I love hanging out and seeing what they do and all that kind of stuff. But you do the kind of work that not everybody sees or knows about. Can somebody just walk up to your shop and the door's open, walk in?
Yeah, the doors are always open. Like you say, it's some days I get 4 or 5 of my customers in, or people just stop in and then they want to talk and whatever. She usually comes out and has to mediate a little bit.
Yeah.
Say, you guys got to get the hell out of here. You got to get
He's
to work.
busy. He's busy. You have a watchdog at the shop too, don't you?
Yeah, she's really mean.
Yeah, I know. I've had run-ins with her. Sniffing my dogs. Yeah. Okay, we talked a little bit about Gio Selzy winning after being on the show. Jory Berg, same thing again this year, was on the show, won the next time. We brought that up before we went on the air. So the first thing you said is, I want Thursday before the John sites. So we have already got Dustin Strand booked for September on Dirty Thursday.
Did you mention September in that? You should probably write that in now.
I wrote it.
Okay.
Yep. Let me see. I think I did.
We'll try anything at this point for that race.
Oh, I know. How cool would that be?
September 5th, booked. It's in.
September 5th, Dustin Strand, John sites. There we go. What would it mean to you to win that thing?
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to win the Prelude night and the Dash and qualified good, and we've led a ton of laps at that deal, but it just seems like that race is my kryptonite. Something always goes wrong.
It's luck. I mean, you've had the worst luck. And are you one of those guys? Are you superstitious?
Yeah, I think I am kind of superstitious.
Do you have a routine on race night, or the way you do things, or don't talk to me for 10 minutes before I get in the car? I mean, I played hockey, so I was superstitious. It seems like all hockey players were, but I don't know. Maybe you got to change something different. You know, try something different. Yeah. You don't have like lucky underwear or anything.
Well, it depends on how it's going. You know,
Okay.
if things are going really good up to that point, don't get too close to me because I ain't going to change them.
You should have had him next Thursday. He hasn't won the Golden Hammer yet either. Well, that'll be another big one, man. You guys are awesome. I love seeing, I see him a lot, but I love seeing you and your family at the racetrack. I love stopping in and saying hi at the camper, and we always see you amongst the sea of orange. Yeah. You can see them when you're going by, can't you? Because there's a whole wave, a whole sea of orange in those seats every night.
Oh, for sure. In the last couple of years, we actually have had different colored shirts, and we were just in the works of getting some new shirts coming, and we were talking, and Savanah said, I think we better get orange because we got to keep our iconic orange going up there.
Right, and I'm going to admit, too, the blue that you start incorporated on your race cars now, you wouldn't think it would work. You wouldn't think with the orange and black and all that, you wouldn't think that blue would work, but what made you do that? Because I think it looks bad, man. I love it.
Yeah, that car, we actually bought that car from another guy, and it was already all blue is how it ended up at the end of the year there. And so I was going to cover all the blue up, and we just stuck with it. So.
Wow. All right. Anything you want to add there, buddy?
I think there's one thing we really haven't talked about yet. I just thought of it. We didn't mention last Friday yet.
Oh,
really?
Go ahet. Take it. I never did. We talked a little bit about the winner, and that was it.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it a little bit there, but that was one of those ones, like, I was running over to Victory Lane. They came by, and I was like, I really don't think so. He comes by, and sure enough. Mm-hmm. And so I asked you afterwards, but we'll talk about this part of the race first. That last couple of laps, like, did you think you were close, but did you think you had a shot at it there? Or?
No, I didn't know. You know, early on in the race, I was kind of running that bottom lane, which I knew was better. But then when the hydrogen sink girl rolled really bad, and then I thought, I better just try not to wreck this thing. So I started running above those holes in the top lane. I thought, well, if somebody wants it bad enough, they can run through the holes. Well, then the 5 car went by me like I was on jack stands. So then I was kind of trying to keep up and ride around and find a lane that would work. And no, I think he kind of had it in the bag, but there was a hole coming out of 4 that was hooking him just wrong. And the last couple laps, we were able to make some tracks.
Oh, see, those are the races where you hear my voice go up about 8 octaves, because I wasn't quite sure either, but I think I was hollering that you got it. But yeah, I can always tell how bad my throat hurts by how good the race was. That was an incredible night.
And then I forgot.
049.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. Even on the white flag lap, I got a really good run, and I got right to his bumper. And at that point, I thought, okay, I'm going to get him the next lap off 4. But when I got to that point, I would get a heck of a run through the middle of 3 and 4, and he was kind of sliding out of my way at that point. Well, that lap, he wasn't out of my way. When I got there, I kind of got underneath his quarter panel, but right at the same time, he hooked that rut and kind of pushed out of the way, and I was able to stay on the throttle. And I didn't think I was going to get him either. It was just inching, and then I looked up at the board and said 71. So
yeah, for cool.
It was very similar. I still haven't looked it up yet. I'm going to do that when I get home. But I was trying to think again afterwards. It was, I think, 3 years ago. You did it at the Outlaw Show, but it was you and Lance that time. So this is actually the second time he's kind of done it in front of a big crowd and kind of shocked us all. So.
At the end of that race, do you go up, or does Edgington come up to you and say, hey, man, nice job? Or do you guys just, how does that go? Because, I mean, there was nothing ugly about it. There was nothing dirty. There was no banging. There's none of that stuff. It was just great racing for the fans. But do you guys talk about that at the end?
Oh, yeah. I actually went over to his trailer right when I got back there and shook his hand. And, it was a good race. And like I told him, I said, it was his race. I think it was just a circumstance.
Yeah.
We got into the lap cars, and he hooked a hole wrong, and it was just I was glad I was on that end of the stick, because I've been on the other end before too.
Sure. Lot of rookies, new guys running late models this year. You were the one won once, before. What do you think about some of these new guys? Now Tucker's picking it up a little bit. Some of these guys, they're getting better all the time.
Yeah, no, they are for sure. And it's great that the class is thriving so well.
Yeah.
I mean, even on a normal night, we got over 20 cars here. So, I mean, it's all the races all of our races till this point, we've had really good car counts, and hopefully that'll continue to grow.
Love having these guys on. It's fun. We should do this once a month, but we will be back again in September. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Again, name of your shop.
Generations.
Look it up. Social media. Also today, 3465 Ivy Drive down by the Sertoma Park. The girls here are going to have a lemonade stand starting at 1 o'clock, right? So go get some lemonade today. Be a great day for it. And you, good luck in Fargo, right? That's where you're going tomorrow night.
We go there tomorrow,
And then are you anywhere Saturday?
I think we're going to Devil's Lake on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, Devil's Lake. And then that'll wrap up your weekend?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, good luck. Have fun down there. I know your cars always do well at Devil's Lake, too. Lemonade stand located at 34 Ivy Drive today starting at 1 o'clock. All right, there you go. Stephen Lewis, man, I call you in a pinch, and if you can, you're always here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I try my best to come out. I haven't made it the last couple of weeks, but
that's okay. You got a life too, you know. And Chad, get a different job. No, Chad's always busy. Darla Johnson, good luck. Thank you guys all for coming in today. Girls, thank you guys for coming in. I hope you make a ton of money in your lemonade stand today. Okay, Brina, get that hair done. See that look? Oh my goodness. I want to give a shout out to, Rumor Sports Bar Casino. Boy, I tell you what, you want to watch the Stanley Cup playoffs or the NBA playoffs, it is the place to be. I love Rumor Sports Bar Casino. They have got those really, really great lunch and dinner specials. They've got the $7 express lunch. In fact, today, go get a sandwich inside for just $7. They're open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Try your luck gambling. You can bet on the horses, the dogs. You can play some games. Rumor Sports Bar and Casino in the Grand Cities Mall. Check them out if you haven't. I love that place. Okay, 6:30 tonight, Forks Sports Highway on. Make sure you catch the show. Speaking of NHL Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA playoffs, they'll be telling you all about it tonight. Brew Brothers Podcast. If you like beer, catch that at 9. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you at the track. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone, too. You never miss a show. Forks rock. Grand Forks' best source is giving them an identity again.